Good afternoon, Cubs fans. Pat Hughes joining you today from the Wrigley Field press box, located directly behind home plate in the upper deck. It's a beautiful day, clear skies with the sun shining down on this magnificent ballpark. From my vantage point, I can just spot Lake Michigan peeking out between the buildings in right field. There's no place I'd rather be. The flags flapping gently in the beautiful breeze tell me the wind is blowing out, much to the dismay of today's starting pitchers, but Cubs fans should be in for a real treat. For today's game, I'm sporting a white polo shirt under one of my trusty sweaters, as it's slightly cooler for those of us in the shade of the press box. My sweater is of the multicolor vertical stripe variety, spanning several shades of red, blue, green, and even some browns, and a little interwoven white thread design down the middle to give it a little pizzazz. I've always been big on pizzazz. It probably should be my middle name. There's nothing like slipping into a well-worn sweater for a ball game like today. Just feels like saying hi to an old friend. To complement the sweater, I have on a pair of crisp black slacks and black shoes, shined up and ready to go for today. To my right is former All-Star Ron Coomer, wearing a navy blue polo with the Cubs' classic Walking Bear logo on his left chest, a silver watch on his left wrist, a pair of your standard khakis on the bottom, all topped off with white and blue Nike running shoes. Boy, Ron, today would be a great day for a jog by Lake Michigan, don't you think? Just behind me in the second level of our booth is Zach Zaidman, sporting a gray, unbranded quarter zip, his Cubs credential with a blue and red lanyard around his neck, and a pair of gray slacks and brown shoes. Speaking of unbranded, incidentally, most of my clothing has always been unbranded. Below me, I see thousands of Cubby faithful, ready to cheer on their favorite team on this lovely summer day. Today's meditation is brought to you by MYND DRINKS, the official CBD of the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley Field. Free your mind with the 100% plant-based hemp drink that helps people relax, refresh, and recover from the stresses and strains of everyday life in an all-natural way that tastes great. Speaking of all-natural, skipper David Ross is headed out to home plate to exchange lineup cards with the opposing manager. Today, David has decided to go full uniform. He is wearing the classic Cubs home apparel with a white jersey with vertical blue pinstripes. On the left chest of the jersey is the classic patch, a blue circle with a red letter C in the middle, and the block text UBS. That, of course, spells Cubs. The pants are similarly pinstriped. They go down to just about ankle length, where they ever so slightly graze his blue cotton socks and his sparkling white athletic sneakers. David, of course, wearing the blue Cubs hat with a red C on the front. It's a fitted cap, nicely cradling Ross's very smooth dome. We don't discuss the dome of David Ross all that often on Cubs radio, and maybe we should. The ball cap is finely stitched polyester. 100% polyester, in fact. Nice to wick away sweat on a warm day like we have here. David Ross and his dome still doing well. David shakes hands and gives the lineup card to the umpire, who is sporting a crisp blue shirt over his chest protector, holding a jet black cap and a mask in his hand, which he'll later deploy to protect his face. His shins are protected by a pair of shin guards, appropriately, which remain unseen under a smart pair of gray pants. As the lineup cards are exchanged, you'll hear the faint call of the hot dog vendor.
Hot dogs! Hot dogs!
Just off to my left, I can see a Vienna hot dog vendor selling his wares here in the upper deck. He is dressed in a slick pair of denim shorts, jorts, I believe the kids call them, a white t-shirt, and the trademark blue vest that hot dog vendors here at Wrigley Field wear. He's got a black strap attached to a magnificent metal tin full of hot dogs.
Hot dogs!
And it looks like he's got one. A Cubs fan looks like he's flagged down our vendor, and they commence the ritual of exchanging hot dogs and money. The vendor hands our fan 2 dogs wrapped from head to toe in a sleek aluminum foil. Really catches your eye when the vendor waves it in the air, the sun glistening off its sleek, encased form. Our fan hands one to a young fan next to him. Ron, I have to assume that's his son by the way he patted him on the head as he passed along the dog, before asking our vendor for 2 mustards and a relish. You know this guy's a true Chicagoan, no catch up here. The young fan unwraps the steamed dog and doesn't even wait for the condiments. He dives right in, and I can hear the pop of that dog from all the way up here. Boy, looks like another satisfied customer at the friendly confines. Looks like our vendor has finished his monetary exchange with the father and son duo and moves up the aisle to find his next hungry fan. As he moves out of earshot, we're just in time for the first pitch. The Cubs are running out of the dugout and onto the field as the Cubs faithful roar in delight. It's going to be a good one, folks. Let's settle in and get this game started. Today's meditation was brought to you by MYND, the official CBD of the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley Field. Play ball!